Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to AEW Mash. So, AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door is in the books. And was it a success? Short answer, abso-bloody-lutely. But let's do it more justice than that in just a wee moment. Because let me tell you something. AEW Mash is one of the many podcast parts which, when formed together, make the mega powers that is the Midweek Mashed Tattie Sportscast. You can find us on all social media and all streaming platforms. Want to support the guys? You could buy us a coffee. We are on Buy Me a Coffee, yep. If you do so, it goes towards running the podcast that we love to bring to you guys. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine. If you want to do anything for us, just please remember to leave us
5 stars, baby! Boom!
Boom, baby! Joining us upon this journey through a love letter to pro wrestling are my two friends, the workhorse Macho Mick and the real K-Manian Hulk Harvey brother.
Yeah, brother.
Well, lads, how are you doing?
Fun, Dabby Dozy.
Great, man. Mick is just off of watching said pay-per-view. He is literally just took it in fresh. Harvey, we watched it last night, man. Thoughts, guys? Quick thoughts before we get properly into this.
Just how they managed to pull off a show like that with all the injuries and all the problems they've had, I don't understand it. It was epic. It was epic.
Dumbfounded Macho Mick.
It was a great pay-per-view.
Harvey,
Aye,
much the
brilliant.
same.
Brilliant pay-per-view. Aye, there were some things in there that nobody could control. That led it to be a wee bit more spectacular than it could have been.
Aye, and I think we'll get into that so well. So what we're going to do here, guys, we're going to revive the structure that we had for Double or Nothing. We're going to go with the old like sandwich. We're all going to discuss a thing we liked about the pay-per-view or loved. I'm sure loved is going to come up quite a lot in this, lads. My list of things is, well, it's a bit ridiculous. But we're just going to do it that way. So, guys, any of you guys want to go first for what you loved or liked about this pay-per-view?
Well, I'm quite happy to jump in here and say that the match that I thought would steal the show, in my opinion, stole the show. I think that Orange Cassidy and Will Ospreay had the singles match of the year. It was fucking awesome. The only match I've seen this year that I can honestly say I think was better is the fucking all-time great tag match between FTR and the Briscoes.
And that's, I mean, that's a high standard, isn't it?
Aye. Yep.
Like, how high a standard, man?
Will Ospreay's got a long list of phenomenal 5-star matches, but I think that is the best match of Orange Cassidy's career so far.
I mean, the thing with me is, I'm not even surprised.
I know.
You know, I genuinely, this matchup, it's such a, like, I mean, we've spoke about it on here for weeks and weeks. The pay-per-view build-up for this, and in general in AEW, has been very average. When we're very used to very good, to excellent. So it's been a bit of a letdown. However, when this matchup sort of got announced with Cassidy returning and coming down for the face-off, I just had such a feeling then that these guys would just mesh together perfectly and sweet Jesus, man. I mean, everything in there. There's athleticism, there's the build-up and the pace of the match, there's the comedy with Cassidy doing the bloody Spider-Man pose.
Aye.
When Will Ospreay does his, it's just incredible.
I was going to say the shit house there, like
The comedy gold.
I mean,
the perfectly paced, phenomenal, just like storytelling, like the psychology of the match as well. I fucking 5 stars doesn't do that justice, man. That was an epic match.
What you know what? Actually, I seen. I don't know if he's clocked it, but when the camera was getting done and Will Ospreay was coming down, somebody had a sign up saying Will Ospreay and then another 7-star match. right?
They
So
use well.
That's where you say, like, aye, 5 stars doesn't do it justice.
It probably
You know,
does,
that's what that's a 7-star match. You know what I mean? The bit that got me in that match was when Will Ospreay went into Orange Cassidy's pocket.
Oh, he found a wee gift in his pocket, man.
That was good.
A wee bud was in there.
And then he come out, he was like, hey.
Flipped off everybody.
That got me,
My favourite bit of the match was when Orange Cassidy returned the favour of the, I forget what they cry them, but getting like, well,
the
Ospreay
kicks,
holds the guy's head, he does the
Kawada
kicks.
kicks. Yeah.
Aye, does the
aye,
kicks.
aye.
So Cassidy returns the favour and Ospreay just like stands up and just looks at him.
It's just
the wide eyes.
Aye, like, but then of course he does fire up and actually does it, and it makes it all the better. And the crowd were just beside themselves with this, weren't they, man?
Yep.
Oh,
Aye, it's unreal.
Unreal.
Yeah,
Aye,
that's
so
it.
I mean, there is not enough love that this match could get. Like, obviously, big shock at the end. Shibata coming down as well, man.
Aye.
Oh,
Aye, I mean,
I take it he's been away for a while.
well,
Has he been
he's the guy who he was fond of the old shoot headbutt during matches, and one, I think it's kind of thought that one led to like he suffered like a brain bleed effectively
Right.
through a concussion, so had to retire. But he's been
was
kind of
actually
making
retired, right? I
moves.
wasn't sure.
Aye, he's been making moves recently to kind of get back in the ring. He had like a grappling exhibition, I'm sure, at one of the New Japan shows with Zack Sabre Jr.
Okay.
And he seems to be starting to do more physicality again. I mean,
Right.
I think what they had him doing recently was working at the American dojo for New Japan.
All right. Okay.
So training the young lions in America, effectively,
Yep.
because obviously they've got their dojo in Los Angeles.
Yep.
I mean, if that's him coming back, what a treat that is for New Japan fans. Because that is one hardy bastard. Like he's the real deal, man. He looks incredible.
He's like a young. He's kind of like a young kind of like Suzuki. He's like that kind of throwback type.
Aye, he is.
Proper
Like he's a
kinda
fighter's
shoot
fighter.
Aye.
Aye, he's got that look about him, man. Love that he comes out to that romantic rock music though. Like, well, that music hits and it sounds like the start of No Scrubs, man. And the crowd go wild, and I'm like, what is it? And then obviously you see Shibata. I'm like, oh, fuck, awesome, brilliant.
Aye.
But I thought for a second we were getting No Scrubs by TLC. Oh man, but we could be here forever on Ospreay and Cassidy. Never sleep on Orange Cassidy's ability. Never ever. Well, Harvey, mate, to you.
Well,
One thing you loved.
one thing I loved actually was the whole program, to be honest, the whole show.
Everything.
Just the fact that AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling coming together and putting a big show together. It just showcases wrestlers from New Japan to people on this side of the continent that maybe don't know anything about them.
Aye,
know,
I mean
and-
it's a great gateway, mate. Aye, absolutely.
And you can see every single one of them boys from New Japan that came over. Like, you can see the talent that they have.
Aye,
Do you know what I mean? So for me, that was one of the best parts. Like, people, obviously you have your diehard pro wrestling fans who know about New Japan, but for folk who don't know about New Japan, it just opens their eyes. You know, and they can see the
couldn't agree
talent,
more, mate.
the talent that is out there. You know, so for
Absolutely. Well said.
me,
mate.
that was the best part.
So something I was actually thinking while watching was that it was like getting the very best in New Japan without having to wrap your head around their style of programming and like their way of sort of telling stories. Like, you know what I mean? It's like an Americanized version of New Japan. You're getting all the good bits with what you're used to for American wrestling.
Aye, it was definitely it's a gateway. And I think that's what New Japan wanted out of this was eyes cast back towards what they are still doing, which obviously the pandemic really hit New Japan hard because Japan's coronavirus restrictions are still very, very much in force over there with like the likes of crowds and all that sort of thing. So it allows you to see that these guys can really bring a crowd into an event in such a way, man. And you could see that for the crowd. Like they loved what they were seeing match after match. Like they were in fun. And by the way, the crowd themselves, by the way, what a fucking crowd.
They were well up for that.
Chicago, man.
Amazing.
Every time AEW goes there.
It's like the home territory, man, honestly.
Yep.
They just love it. They just love it, man. So, my first one. It's probably not going to be a great surprise because I feel like this is something we said as well. Get into this. Sting. Fucking Sting. Again.
Bloody Sting.
I swear I was in mid-air when
63.
he hit the deck.
What?
I jumped off. I was levitating off the couch when he came off there, man.
I mean, everything about it was just perfect. I mean,
I know.
It wasn't just that he was up there. It was the silhouette of him on the back of the stage wall, like fucking Batman. He's Batman. He's just Batman.
But before that, where the
figure
up into the rafters.
He's up in the rafters.
He's up there. Like,
He's surely not zipping in, is he?
That took me back to the 90s, man.
Exactly,
I felt like a kid watching that, and then all of a sudden he's Batman.
he's jumped 63 years young and flying onto young men to catch him. Like, I mean, what a guy, man! Every bloody pay-per-view, he's in the most random, stupid match, and everybody goes fucking mental for 20 minutes watching him. I have so much love for that guy. I mean, he's doing bloody diving senton drops at 63, arse first. We'll lower back that's 63 years old.
63.
He's 63.
He's 63 years old. He's jumping, 15 foot?
15 foot, something like that. Wild, man.
And I mean, the crowd's loving it. Home viewers are loving it. The commentary team are having the time of their lives watching this guy. See, the best bit was when, obviously, El Phantasmo, who, by the way, fucking phenomenal. Love that guy.
Brilliant.
Could be a third young buck, honestly. He's just. But he tried to twist Sting's nipples, so obviously he got the revenge. And one of the commentators shouted the King of the Hill line, "That's my purse!" Where Bobby's... I'm not joking. I was done for the 10 minutes, just laughing.
I was already gone when he says, he's got the areolas.
He's grabbed him for the areolas. Oh shit! It was a treat, an absolute random and stupid treat, but my God, was it epic? Honestly, just epic.
That was a really fun match.
It's so stupid, but fucking hell. Oh dear, right. So things we maybe would have changed about the pay-per-view. Things we maybe weren't so keen on.
Right, well,
who would like to go first? Michael, straight on this.
Other than stating the obvious of the guys that were missing and matches been changed and all that stuff, I would just have loved in general for more things to mean more. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like there was enough. Mm-hmm. All that really came away for that pay-per-view is that, I mean, okay, maybe some of it spills into New Japan. I don't know what direction they're going in. But in terms of the AEW side, you've got the continuation and slight development. The whole thing around Jericho Appreciation Society,
Blood and Guts and so on.
And get into Blood and Guts and all that. And obviously now we've introduced all Claudio into that mix. And then the very disappointing end, I suppose, to Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm. Like, she's beat another challenger. Good match, like fucking phenomenal match.
That's one thing we have to state straight away here, though, mate, is that was actually a very good match between two wrestlers who went for it and did deliver a much harder hitting style, like we suggested to me.
Aye, they represented for the women. It was they did a great job, because obviously they're going to want to put out a match that's akin to something you might see in Joshi, Stardom, whatever. That folk tuning in for the New Japan side, they're going to appreciate it. You couldn't go like Diva on it, you know. Well, no, the AEW would, but you know what I mean.
No, they wouldn't. Anyway,
so they did really well, I have to say. But the match, there wasn't enough build going into it, so the match itself didn't mean too much. And then we've no evolved the story or the character of either wrestler, in my opinion, coming out of that match.
No, it's just that, and with the handshake at the end, I think's the poor decision. Like, I think, but then again, I think that's down to your personal opinions that mean we're disappointed in it. Like,
aye,
I mean that's something we've got to remember too. That's us as like there is a certain section of fans that do think that Thunder Rosa would maybe be best served as being a heel, but obviously it's gonna disappoint us if it's no going the way we would see it go. Like we would like to see it go, but for a wrestling standpoint, in the 12 minutes that they really did show that they are talented in-ring workers. It's probably the best Thunder Rosa match I've seen in weeks and weeks.
I was thinking
months.
watching it that's the best match I've seen for Thunder Rosa period, I think.
I texted to Harvey, so did I said, where the hell's this one been?
I actually did that.
Where's this Thunder been? Like,
I know. I said, well, I just been hiding.
Basically,
I think I could sum this up a wee bit better by saying that I think my negative here is that they played it too safe.
Aye, it was a very safe move. Like, that's one thing you can say.
Like, no belts changing hands, no shock winners, really, if we're being honest.
Aye.
Played it safe.
I think that's maybe something to learn in future with the inclusion of Stardom, maybe the next time. Like
that would probably possibly help. They're
certainly starting to hint towards it, and obviously Thunder's going over there and work in Joshi Pro for a couple of weeks, but they'll accept.
In July,
Toni Storm's talked about wanting to go wrestling Stardom again as well. So it's maybe something that builds. I mean, the good thing is they now have 12 months for that. You think about it. If this is going to be a real event, like it's 12 months away.
Aye.
I'm sure that's something both companies will consider, obviously.
I mean, this being the first Forbidden Door, like obviously they have to work together.
Yeah.
And then they have to come to a compromise of what's going on, who's doing what, this and that, and then what's going to go on in the future. Do you know what I mean? So it's the first time, so obviously there's going to be some kinks in the road, like, you know.
Aye.
Agreed, mate, agreed.
So, aye. I mean, they didn't do too bad.
The
first time. I mean, well,
aye.
Epic.
We're saying
they did well.
They
did well.
It's pay-per-view of the year, I would say. Like, I would go as high as that.
I mean, just going back to what you said there, Michael, about not being too much meaning to matches and stuff. I mean, sometimes, you know, just think that it's enough just to have good wrestling matches.
No, see, because I think there's something that needs to be corrected in that. Like, so there's a difference between a really good match and a great match. And a great match can only be a great match if it makes you feel. A good match can be technically perfect, phenomenal psychology, storytelling, like have all the boxes ticked. But if it doesn't make you feel, and like, you know, whether it's shock factor, whether it's like, holy shit, I didn't see that heel turn coming, or whatever it is, if it doesn't have that sort of extra, then maybe it gets scored a 5-star match, but it's not going to be a truly great match that's remembered for all time, kind of thing. You know what I mean? And I think in a pay-per-view as big as this, I would have been looking for at least one moment in there where I'm like, holy shit, I can't believe it. And I don't, and I maybe had that to a degree where, like, you know, like a kind of surprise. Well, I was going to say Cesaro, like there's Claudio, but we kind of predicted it was going to be him. But you know what I mean? But that sort of thing's cool when it's a bit of a shock factor. But it's, you know what I mean? I'm looking for like a heel turn or like a title change in hands or just somebody winning, like in a 4-way match or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Or something that creates a new feud.
I gave you
going forward. You know, just that sort of extra.
I think there's merit in what Harvey's saying certainly as well, though, that this was a pay-per-view of
Aye.
match by match. I mean, if you were to watch every match in isolation, there is something there for every kind of wrestling fan.
Aye.
And I mean, you obviously you get your big moments with FTR, which I'm sure we'll probably dig into when we get back to the likes.
Yep.
Like, I mean, there's plenty to discuss still. Harvey fella, what be yourself for a wee thing you would have maybe liked to have seen different, or a thing that maybe just kind of brought a wee to you? that was a disappointed sound.
The one thing that I didn't like, and it wasn't to do with any individual match, but it was to do with the Japanese announcer.
Right, okay.
So, every time they announced a match, the English announcer had, let's say, 30 seconds. The Japanese, just 10 seconds. Boom, got it. And that was it. There was
names.
That, and then when you look at the graphics for the Forbidden Door, you have in English big bold letters underneath the tiniest Japanese writing. So that to me was disappointing. To me, it should have been on an equal level.
I get what you're saying there.
I would suggest that kind of affirms that this was an AEW pay-per-view that featured New Japan. It wasn't strictly a joint effort, I don't think. Like, I think AEW's handled marketing and production, and like they've put this show on and they've included New Japan in it, which I'm not saying is right. Like, I would like to see it be a lot more even. Do you know what I would actually love to see, and it would probably take a few years to get to the point where they can do it, but I would love to see it be like a 2-parter where, like, say
home and away?
June they put a show on in America, July they put a show on in Japan. That would be cool.
You could see something like that in the future, like where it's in a way like where you're going to Japan to wrestle Tokyo Dome, like, because I think that would fill the Tokyo Dome.
Oh, easy, and it gives you a much better run at it in terms of how you book it, because your storylines might be ropey going into that first show, but you can build off of that, and then that second show can be the culmination, like 90 days of work. Building it on both sides of the pond, as it were.
So, the thing that kind of made me go, my favourite wee noise, I think it was just the misfortune, man, of the Adam Cole spot in the 4-way. It sucked the life out of the crowd just for that wee 5-minute period, because obviously they didn't see the exact reason he seemed to hurt himself. It looked to me, and I mean, this is just as a television viewer watching it, when he get hit by the drop kick. Okada's drop kicks, by the way, just it's like you could frame that and hang in the Louvre, man. Honestly, beautiful. But when Adam Cole goes back on the back bump, his head snaps back, I think, and smacks the mat, and I think he knocks himself loopy. Of course, Okada doesn't see this, so picks him up again and does another move, which again is tumbling a guy about that's been knocked for 6.
He tries to go for the Rainmaker, but
He tries to go for the Rainmaker.
Adam Cole barely gets up.
And I think he stumbles under it just to a reaction of something's coming towards my face, get out of the way. And I think the planned finish was that he scalps him with the Rainmaker, and then White comes in and hits Okada, and then pins. But of course, White sees what's going on and thinks, we need to get it done now. And just grips Adam Cole into a pin to hold him, because Cole's still trying to kick out because he's got no idea where he is. So you can see Cole try to lift his left shoulder. So it's quick thinking, and it's a fucking shame, and it's just this curse around injuries, man, with this show. Like,
it's how mental.
Such a shame.
How mental would it have been, right, if Cole did get his shoulder up, and the referee was like, "Oh,
didn't you know?"
2. Like, there you go, 2. It would have been like,
what was the match?
There was a bit of communication between White and the referee straight after, and I think White was smarting them up of saying, "Doctor, he's in a bad way. Get a doctor in."
There was a Jericho match years ago. It was in WWE. Somebody got hurt. I can't think who it is. Somebody got hurt, and Jericho tried to go for the pin to get it by way because he saw that whoever it was hurt, and the referee didn't realise what was happening, and so essentially pretended the guy kicked out at 2 because in his mind the match was meant to finish, and Jericho went bananas at the referee and basically got himself disqualified, I believe, from memory.
To try to get, and again,
just to get the match by way.
Quick to get it by way. Aye.
I've actually seen that on YouTube. So
I'm sure I can't think who it was, but I do remember that
it.
spot.
I can't think what the match was.
But Jericho is actually going absolute.
I goes ape shit at the referee,
like in the ring, like, and the cameras are still there, and he's like,
and then he must in the middle of the melee. I'm assuming he must whisper to the referee, "Disqualify me, you absolute prick."
I'm sure I've seen it as well with JBL and Guerrero when Guerrero passes out on his feet. Like, I don't know what it is that does him in that day, but JBL does it where he just jumps and tap him and roars count to 3 to the ref, like, to get it by with. Like, guys, it's such fucking bad misfortune.
And
that was during a great match. I really was enjoying that. Like,
do you know, I think all it needed was Jay White just to, like, grab the tights or something, you know what I mean? Just add that wee bit of shenanigans to it, just to, because it looked a bit like, how's he pinned him there, you know what I mean?
It did. It caught me. I went, what did I miss? Like, when I was watching it, and then obviously he showed it back, and I went, right, something's happened.
And
obviously through seeing it again,
I replayed it, so that I had to go back.
But you can see in White's face that I think he's more worried about what's happened to Cole than he is. And then and that lasts for about 10 seconds. Then he goes, right, fuck character, and snaps back into gubbing off at Hangman Page, giving it the 3-0. That's 3-0 now, because obviously he's beat Page twice in singles, and now he's won a 4-way.
Yeah.
Up until that exact point, the match was fucking phenomenal. Like,
so and again, really good match, right?
Like, again, it's no right to be that good when it's just chucked together. But then what do you expect? I mean, Okada's a fucking star, man. He's a
to be honest, that was going to be my next point that I thought was great.
Well, let's get into it. Let's go into it, because that's probably
the
good
match as a whole, apart from what happened,
the ending.
It's brilliant. So it was. I honestly thought Okada was going to win that.
There was a stage during then. I thought so too, mate.
Do you know? I had said, obviously, when we did the predictions, I had said that I felt like Okada was winning it, just with the way he came back and everything, right? But then as I was watching the match, I thought, do you know what? That was a dumb prediction, because we spoke about how Okada's misses is due to Pop.
Aye.
Why would they put the belt back in him when he's probably going to take
for him to be off
6 weeks off or something?
Aye.
Maybe aye.
Which is true. And I mean, hey, props to the guy for just jumping over here and blasting into a brilliant 4-way, man. I mean, the crowd reaction for him, by the way, again, man.
I loved him.
Absolute, by far the biggest cheer out of the 4 of them. Like, and that's Adam Cole, whose entrance music is essentially just walking you by the hand and how to cheer him. Like, it's got the boom, it's got the shout, it's everything set up for him to get the monstrous reaction.
Baby.
Even if he's a heel, everybody's cheering that. Like, but no interest. They were just all waiting for the cha-ching, the coins dropping, man. And that's akin to John Cena's trumpets. Like,
aye.
Stone Cold's glass shattering. Stone Cold, smell. It's all this
Undertaker.
Aye, the dong. Aye, it's such an iconic thing that fucking hell, shit's gonna go down now. Here's Okada. And it was I agree with you, Harvey. It was a great match going into just that last spot where just things went wrong, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. I mean, since we were talking about that, can I just do another one?
I go for
Can I just comment at that? So
chuck it in, mate. Chuck it in. We're all pals here.
Actually, was the All Atlantic Championship. By the way.
Again, we said it. We said it's getting no right to be any fun, but I bet it's an absolute screamer.
And by the way, Connors, Clark, bloody
Man of the
Connors,
match, mate. Man of the match.
Fucking unreal.
You see when he came out at first, nobody, everybody was like, whatever. Oh my God, they made well, I don't know if they, but him and everybody else in that match made it so that he got pops, man. I swear to God, like
it was this bumping glue
God.
that stuck the match together, wasn't it?
Right.
And everybody fucked him up. Oh, match, like
but we all
Really
went mad
especially.
at first, like he's got. Well, he did take the the whole. But
he takes
we knew that.
the loss.
But when he near the end of the match, where he's just flying, he's boom, 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 spears Pac. He's just went a rampage.
He was great. He was.
Brilliant.
And
Absolutely brilliant.
That's like your last point, Harvey. Like, you didn't know this guy. I mean, I literally texted and said, "Oh, God, they've got Steve the Pirate for dodgeball, and that'll be a good laugh." Because that's what it looks like Peter. Like, so I could think was fucking hell, there's Steve the Pirate, and then he goes to literally be the most important part of the match for me. Just about I mean, obviously Miro dominates it, and Miro looked fucking incredible, but. We Connors take all the bumps all the time, and then his wee baby face fire up at the end, like wow, absolutely brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, loved it.
Hey, can I just say, calls it?
Aye. Paul, well, Mick, it was you that was like, I say, it would make sense if Pac, this and that, you know.
Aye, basically, I was saying
traveling.
it. Like, there's only two ways it goes. It's Miro or it's Pac, and it just depends on what they want to do with the belt. So that Pac winning tells me that they want that belt to go on tour, and also that they're definitely coming to the UK.
UK
soon.
Paul, before he was like, when me and Paul were messaging through it, because obviously Michael, you watched it later than us. We were watching it live, and he was like, it's Pac. Sneaky suspicion it's Pac, you know. And I was like, feeling, I don't know, man. I still think it might be Malachi, but I mean, when you look at it, in the grand scheme of things, it makes so much sense for it to be Pac.
It does. I mean, it's a UK champion. UK is a massive wrestling market. There's a lot of die-hard. I mean, look at us, man. Like, absolutely mad for it. Every pay-per-view we're on it. Like, we're straight on it. Like, it's a big deal over here. So it would make sense to target this market with a UK champion. And I mean, Pac's legit, man. It's not like they're not doing it just because he's British. They're doing it because he is incredible and he's British.
And he's been there from day one.
And exactly, the longest tenured wrestler in the match, AEW. Which
a lot of folk might not know. But Pac's been with AEW from day one.
Yeah, first press conference, right there.
So, I mean, it makes sense, you know, and it's very well deserved. Might I add, because he's a great wrestler.
Oh, he's phenomenal, man. Massively undervalued in WWE. Massively. And I think he would have been further up the card and probably have some gold on him by now if it wasn't for the pandemic and the travel issues that he had.
It hit him. It definitely did hurt him. Yeah, not being able to get to. I mean, I can remember literally the week before Revolution 2020, there was an Iron Man match between Kenny Omega. I faced Kenny Omega and Pac. They were in a kind of a mini feud building up on TV. Omega was effectively in two feuds. Like, there was the kind of respect brotherhood kind of feud in the tag division because they were tag champs, with the Bucks obviously being the match of Revolution. But there was this 30-minute Iron Man match between Pac and Omega, and I'm no kidding, it fucking hell. You guys will have AEW plus, obviously. I'm trying to think of what day it was. February-ish 2020. An absolute screamer for 5 minutes late.
Cool. I'm curious. Yeah. I'm curious to see what his first feud is, because I feel like they'll probably go the lazy route and have it be Malachi. Have it be Black.
I wonder if they tie it back into Death Triangle. Hopefully no.
I don't want them to do that, but I've got a feeling they will.
Signs kind of point to the Lucha Brothers now entering into a feud with Los Facción Ingobernable, I think they're called. Is that what their name is? Russian Andrade.
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking Lucha versus Lucha, which I'm
all for endless matches between matches. Them. Right? just give me that every week for the rest of the year, please.
Just
some combination of the four every week. Thank you.
Oh Christ, aye. And I mean, Rush will be one that you've never seen really, Harvey, before, but wait till you see him, man. What a guy.
I know.
Very similar to Andrade. So, Michael, what about yourself for your second thing you really, really enjoyed here?
I think I've got to go. I'm trying not to say it because I feel like you'll probably want to say it, Paul. But I'm gonna have to go with the tag match with FTR getting all the belts. It's what I expected and what I hoped for, but I don't bring it up because of that. I bring it up because I really, really enjoyed that match. I thought it was a really well put together match for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that was a legit injury or a worked injury?
I think it was.
Did it add to the drama regardless?
I think it was both. I think he's probably went into the match with a niggle, and rather than risk him getting further injured in the match and then have to come up with a plan B, they went into it with the plan B, so that he's no in it, ricked the way through, and he can wrestle run about whatever the niggle was without everybody going, what's wrong with him? something's not right there.
I mean, I could see that, like, possibly. You just never know with pro wrestling, of course. They're not going to tell you the fucking truth, that's for sure. The devil's going to be left in the secret details.
I don't think they came up with the idea of taking him to the back and taking him out the match for 10 minutes on the fly. That's my thinking.
Aye, that's. I mean, the return pop, everybody went mental. Like,
aye. That's what makes me think it was a work.
Aye.
I mean, what you're saying there, Michael, makes total sense. Like, there's been something there, and then they've said, all right, you know what, we'll work with it, you know, and a bit through the match we'll go, boom, you go back, and boom. The reason why I think it was, why I say it was a work, it's just that everything just went so smooth.
That's also true as well. It wasn't like these guys adjusted to it.
It was just like everything happened, and then, you know, oh my God, his name, like, just after he was going mental by himself, smashing folk, and then them coming back and like, there's nobody in your corner. Look, you can't retire anybody.
Man in that match,
United Empire, right?
You know, man in that match was Cash. Cash Wheeler was phenomenal. So he was. He made that work.
Babyface and Pearl, he's good at it.
After they were
good at it.
Oh, Cash, like, and then boom, comes down, and it's like, and I think it was what, but what you're saying there is 100% makes sense.
A shout out to Roppongi Vice, because they did not look like the odd one out. They belonged in that match, man.
They showed that they are a fucking excellent tag team.
Yep.
Didn't they really? Like,
yep.
Rocky Romero's standing sliced bread that he does as well defies physics for me. The way he runs up in a diag and leaps over the back of him, in a backflip. How the fuck does he do that? Like, I cannot work out how he sets his feet to do that jump in the space that he does it in. It's...
Oh, no. Do you know who? No, Great O'Can.
Cobb.
Jeff Cobb.
When he just stuns.
He's moonsault.
Moonsault.
Aye, that defies gravity.
Aye, exactly.
100% that defies gravity.
I mean, it shouldn't be forgot how good they were. And by the way, I quite enjoyed Great O'Can, I've got to say as well.
I think
there's some really old school about him because of the shape of him, like a big old tough guy.
Aye. That's about the best I've seen him look, I've got to say. Usually Great O'Can, I think he's a bit clunky, and I don't enjoy when he gets involved in the match.
I know
it's the style, I think. Like, you know, sometimes that style just doesn't quite work in the match it's in. But, like, every part of that worked that match. I really enjoyed it.
It was an absolute treat. It really was. It was another brilliant tag match. Of course, it was 7-star FTR. No wonder they called him that.
Aye.
With very good reason. Like, if you want to listen to somebody who loves pro wrestling, we shout out FTR in the post pay-per-view media scrum.
Yes.
Fucking hell, man. I could listen to Dax Harwood talk for 3 hours.
God.
Just himself about pro wrestling.
How
lovable is that? I cannot love that guy anymore.
Brilliant.
Wrestler of the year. Just give him it now.
Michael, you've probably not seen it because you're just catching up, right?
I've not had time yet. I'm going to watch the media scrum.
Watch the media scrum.
It's great.
Brilliant.
And they've brought a wee bit of New Japan into it, Harvey, like with the...
Aye. Not even just them, but across the board, everybody. It's you get to see, you'll get inklings into what's going to happen in the future.
I think so. I think so too. I think there's planted seeds in it, Harvey.
It's planted seeds, cool. Honestly.
I won't go into any more so that you see it for yourself.
See, before we move on, I just want to quickly say that I've just realised that I misspoke earlier. In the middle of a ramble, I said that no titles changed hands, but of course the tag titles did change hands.
Aye.
I get what you're saying though. You're a man who loves your storylines, and storylines is what wrestling's all about, man. So it's a valid point. What you were saying was not wrong.
Very quick sort of explanation on that point. I've got a love for pro wrestling, but I'm also, like, in my mind, I'm far too logical based, and also the fact that I've got massive love for MMA, and so all that side of, like, the real kind of fighting stuff. When I watch pro wrestling, like, I'm analysing everything that's happening. So if there isn't a storyline that pulls me in, then I'm just sitting there like a fucking pundit trying to analyse everything. You know what I mean? I need that something extra.
Right, if you just heard me laughing in the background, right? It's because just when you say that, it tickled me. Sitting there and watching it with my missus last night. Obviously, Zack Sabre Jr. and was, and then she's there like, see, this is why some of these I don't like watching. Some of them, look at him, like, look, he's twisting his hand. Are you telling me that he can't do something there? He can't do something there. Right.
Does not appreciate Zack Sabre Jr. Fair enough, JJ.
I get what you're saying, Ten, but like, look at this. When she said I couldn't contain myself, I was trying to explain that she not having it. No, I was like, right.
Outstanding.
Oh God.
It's funny when you're watching pro wrestling with missus, and that's what they do. They just come at you with fucking logic, and you're like, just let me enjoy my shit, please. Come on. Let me enjoy it.
Technically, he could use his left hand to hook him high, but you know what I mean. God.
Christ. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll move on to my last like here, and I'm gonna get straight into that contentious point. By the way, Claudio Castagnoli debut.
Aye.
Fucking hell! I mean, it's like Hogan coming out there, man. The cheer was an eruption.
everybody
Absolute
loved him.
eruption. Aye, he looked great. He looked.
Aye.
It just brings you back to that Vince McMahon. I think it was on Austin's bloody Broken Skull sessions, wasn't it? Where I'm sure it was like, doesn't really connect with an audience. Like that was his big criticism of Cesaro in WWE was he can't. I don't see how he connects with an audience. And then you see 16,000 people
Pop.
clearly connecting with this man.
Aye.
This heavyweight wrestler who could lift a fucking car if he wanted to, I'm sure.
I mean, when he had Zack Sabre and he should have just walked
one
up
arm.
there, threw him into
That's
the
a
ring, right?
grown ass man he has got in one arm.
I mean, come on.
Well, I just.
Aye.
He's a superhuman. He really is.
Aye.
He's the closest thing to a Marvel superhero, strength wise.
Aye.
He just, for the shape of him, he shouldn't be that fucking strong, but he is.
Aye.
He's far,
The match
far
itself.
too lanky. Far too thin and lanky to be as strong as he is. It makes no sense.
Like, I like for that's. I mean, that's what he is. He's too well aesthetically built to be that strong. Like, he's got an absolute cheek. I hope he's hung like a hamster. Honestly, man, it's no fair.
I mean,
I'm sure he's not. By the way, I'm sure he's not. He's got a happy wife and shit. But the match itself, though, obviously, this is a totally different taste for the rest of the pay-per-view. Thoughts, lads? I mean, personally, myself, I'm not analysing it like an MMA fan when I'm watching that. I'm watching a chain wrestler who does his wrestling submissions and does all his soccer kicks and all that. And I really do love the change of pace that Zack Sabre Jr. brings. Shout out to another fucking a British wrestler, English wrestler. Three of them on the show, really fucking showing up big time.
Yep.
But what did you think about the match, lads? I'll put it to you guys.
I mean, when you're looking at it, right? Obviously, I'm kind of the same as Mike, where I'm like, if you got to do something like a submission, at least make it look proper. Do you know what I mean? Like, it can lock it, it can hurt you. But, I mean, in this match, they were just so technically brilliant that it didn't really matter, to be honest.
Aye, I mean, if you're...
They just boom, 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 and then this and that. I was like, it was just...
It's the psychology of Sabre Jr. that he's always trying to trap you. Like, he's always 3 moves ahead, and it's not about him trying to beat you. He knows he can't beat you because he's smaller than you. I mean, he's bigger now, to be honest. He's actually just about a junior heavyweight. He was effectively a 12-year-old lassie originally when they built him.
He was
Just
so
this wiry wee guy.
before, wasn't
He's put a bit of size on, but he's still obviously nowhere near as big as Castagnoli, and it's all about trying to trap every move with arm bars, with fucking leg locks, like everything's with the kind of the thought of trying to neutralise this guy's physical attributes, basically, so that he can beat him. Which I loved. Michael.
So
yes, I mean, you're the MMA guy.
Right,
here,
well,
obviously.
so here's the thing, right? And I mean, maybe you can decry me for this, I don't know, but I really enjoy Zack Sabre Jr.'s style because it is so different, man. He's like a catch wrestler for the 50s or something. He is so different from everybody else. And I really appreciate the style, so I overlook some of the choices in submission and stuff like that because of the sort of whole package that he brings with it, because he is just going for submission attempt to submission attempt, and he'll work in something like he's good at like he'll do some shoulder blocks or something like that at the start of the match, and then he'll go in working legs and whatever else he's doing, but then 10 minutes later he's back working on that shoulder again, and then eventually like he's attacking arm bars, you know what I mean? Like what he's doing means something, you know what I mean? He's heavy on the psychology of what he's doing, you know what I mean?
Nailed it.
So I do really. I've not seen that many matches on, but I've watched a few since I discovered him a couple of years ago, and I just really enjoy that style. So, but what I would say is I was all over the place with this match because it kind of went like this, right? I was expecting it to be Cesaro. I'm just going to call him Cesaro because I'll get confused going between names.
Guys, sorry, don't worry. For the sake of this podcast.
So was expecting it to be Cesaro. It was Cesaro. So wasn't like shocked or anything, but great to see him, right? Fan of the guy, and the pop he got was unreal. So cool. And he's kind of repackaged, coming into AEW, new/old name, new outfit, new music. Music's pretty cool, by the way.
Brilliant,
aye.
love it. Overture 1812, isn't it?
Aye.
Carry on.
It fits him perfect, man. But so that's all good. But then comes in like an absolute fucking train and does the absolute opposite of a technical match to start with.
Again, psychology.
Psychology,
he knows what
okay.
Zack Sabre
Yep.
Jr. is going to do. He's going to drag you into deep water, so get him straight away.
Yep. Which is all good. It plays into the match, but I'm going into that. I'm looking forward to see what Cesaro can bring to the match in terms of that technical sort of mat wrestling stuff. And then he just comes in and goes ham on him. And I'm like,
blasts him.
right, come on, slow it down. But then they go on to have like just a really good, well worked match with just great psychology and just really well put together. So phenomenal debut for him.
I mean, he couldn't have looked any bigger a star, really.
And
I don't want to. Sorry.
cherry on top. Last thing I'll say, cherry on top was at the culmination at the end of the night, having Eddie Kingston going off on him.
I just plants that seed, and that's what Harvey was going to say.
Plants the seed because if you look at it, he's
Moxley was smiling.
Moxley was smiling, but if you look at it closely, Kingston is saying something to Moxley. Moxley's like, nah, man, and he's looking, he's pointing like, nah, like you're not, and looking back, and Kingston's like, nah. So what everybody was saying,
He cut him short. I lip read that he calls him a big fucking freak. Innit?
It's the next couple of weeks with all that's got to be brilliant. But did you know? I mean, sorry, Michael, to spoil this for you, right?
That's all right.
But in the media scrum,
Yep.
when Claudio was there, or Cesaro, as you know,
I would get, but sorry.
Go with the
and
easy
Tony
name,
was talking about it.
Castagnoli.
Castagnoli.
I might just call him CC.
Tony Khan wasn't actually supposed to debut at Forbidden Door.
I'm not shocked at that because obviously
He had him in his back pocket.
Bryan Danielson got fucking injured.
He was supposed to debut at Blood and Guts, I believe, is what they said, if I remember correctly. He was saying, I was speaking to Brian, and he was saying he was good and everything. So we were going with him, Zack Sabre. But then Brian said, "Listen, I'm no feeling like the best." And Tony said, "Well, don't worry about it. No want to put you there when you're not feeling 100. I've got something in the back pocket." And nobody had, and this is what Tony said, nobody knew that he was talking to him at the time to bring him in for Blind Guts. It just, like, everything just aligned.
Right.
And it's like, well, one in, and he was like, aye, fuck it, let's go. And that's how everything happened. Like, you know what I mean? And how epic was it, though? That everything just aligned? Do you know what I mean? Brilliant.
The only, I have to say, right, one negative that I'll say, I'm no sold on him as, other than the fact that it's going to create some really interesting storylines with Ed Kings and stuff, I'm no sold on him as a member of the Blackpool Combat Club.
You will be. You're not yet, but you will be.
I think there's a lot coming, There's a lot more coming there.
He's too much of a face right now. He needs to go dark. You know what I mean?
Now.
But then you'd Moxley, who's a face too, though, working with Danielson, who's a heel.
No, but Mox is a tweener. He's always a tweener.
Yuta, though, as well, who's an underdog baby face. Like, he's a sound pure wrestler, but I just love that wee man.
They've pulled him in and they've tweaked his style. You know what I mean? He goes hard in the paint. He properly fucking goes for folk now. He's brutal at times. Actually, fucking shout out to Wheeler Yuta because he was phenomenal in his match.
Honourable mentions before we go to that match, certainly. Did you know that Shota Umino is actually Red Shoes' son, the referee from New Japan?
I picked up on that in the broadcast.
Aye.
I had no idea, but
Neither did I.
obviously they spoke about it with the history with Jericho.
Aye, so that was kind of a way that was kind of set in, was that he was into them. Obviously, his ties with Moxley called him Shooter, which again they brought up in the commentary, kind of reminding you of this on the New Japan side, and kind of bringing this up. By honourable mention, fucking awesome. Wheeler again. So was Shota, to be honest.
I felt like that was like it was a big moment for Yuta. He didn't feel like an apprentice anymore. You know what I mean? He felt.
Oh, he was legit.
He was legit. He was like a fully grown man, man. Like it was like that's him. He's developed, man. He's a prop. He's came back for Japan a different guy. He's been away for a few weeks in the tournament. He's came back just that bit better.
Last week, quick honourable mention, obviously, for Moxley and Tanahashi, by the way. They had a knackered out crowd. They still managed to put a great reaction to the crowd. Fucking awesome match. And we're doing it in Injustice chucking it in the last minute of the podcast.
Absolutely.
Really. But great, man. Really was great.
Tanahashi's at this stage in life and in his career, he's getting the right to be producing that kind of performance. And Mox,
I mean, if you look at him walking.
he's
what?
Look at him walk.
I know,
his
man.
His knees are absolute trash. His knees are gone.
Knees and hips.
Fucking still. But Mox, I think Mox, that's going to be that absolute highlight of his career.
Aye,
he's going to look back in that fondly.
Aye. Right. Finally, lads. When you go,
sorry.
Just don't worry.
One last thing.
You get a wee point out and then we'll go for the last thing.
So, well, actually, two. I just want to ask a question and say something. When you look at the media scrum and look at what the wrestlers say about Tony Khan.
Okay.
And
lots of love.
Lots of love for him.
On the New Japan
then
as well.
The second thing I want to say is Death Before Dishonor.
That's the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view.
Has it been announced?
Saturday, July 23rd. Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor.
Okay.
Yep, so moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Aye. That's a pre-existing pay-per-view, isn't it?
Aye, it's one of the old pay-per-views.
Aye.
So they're using their back catalogue of names for pay-per-views, which is good to see.
Yep.
They're staying true to it.
Aye,
so no TV deal of that announced just that next day.
Still not, apparently something is very close.
Okay.
Something's very close, apparently.
Watch the media scrum.
Roger.
Aye, watch the media scrum. Right, before we go here, we've got like 80 seconds to go, lads. Scores out of 10 for this event. Harvey Smith, hit me up. Out of 10, where do you go? You gave Double or Nothing an 8, if I remember correctly.
Aye. Honestly, I'd give it an 8 again.
You give it an 8 again, right? Okay.
In all honesty, it could have been a 9. Just things without everybody's control brought it down a wee bit. Fair
play.
Which is nothing against them. It's life. Shit happens.
That's life.
Michael Allen, very quick summary of a score. Give me it, man. Give me it.
I will give it a 9. I would say that I think the matches deserved a 10 out of 10, but there just wasn't enough story there for me. There wasn't enough build into it. There wasn't enough consistency through the weeks leading into it and then into the pay-per-view. Obviously a lot of that to do with injuries and stuff, but nevertheless. And then no enough, like, give me the shock value, give me some big thing that's going to develop over the next however many weeks of TV. We just missed out on that, and that would have been that last point for me. But the matches were fucking epic.
And I think that's where I would say to you, 9 out of 10. I think in time you're going to remember this as a massively important point in wrestling history. But I'll tell you what, we haven't even really got time to get into anything else, lads. It's really time to wrap up here. What a review that was, and thank you very much for that, lads. That was comprehensive and just fucking awesome. Oh, great fun. But if you want to listen to more Midweek Mashed Tattie Sportscast stuff, we've got an aftermash this week again. Jesus Christ, wait to hear that. We've also got an MMA mash talking about more of that UFC. Talking about Stevie Ray, man. Who's Stevie Ray? Listen and you'll find out. Stevie Ray Vaughan. We're out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Catch you in a week's time.
Later.
Bye, driver.
There and shits and bridges.
Bye, driver.